Before you pick up the hand torch or even glass, to familiarize yourself with the operation of the lathe, it's a good idea to just get a wooden dowel rod like this. If you want, you can take a little bit of lathe tape or graphite tape, wrap it, doesn't have to be very tight, and then I'm going to place it into the chuck. Open that. There we go. And then tighten it down. Okay. And typically, the work that you are going to be using, or the glass rod or tube that you're going to be using in the lathe, will be about 4 inches from the chuck face. So that's like right on the money. You can put the blast shield. You can put the heat shield on just for good measure. So to operate the lathe, we've got our controller. So I push it this way, push it that way, right? And I can go ahead and center it. Kind of got it right there. One way to center it is to have a piece of graphite, like this graphite pad, and then bring it up and then go from there. But that's pretty good. So it's rotating, and again with the controller, depending on how you have it wired up, but like I said, here I've got this, right now I'm rotating counterclockwise according to the controller, but if you actually look at it, it's going clockwise. Clockwise is at a different speed. I can speed that up or slow it down as needed. Okay. You push, so I push counterclockwise, that starts it, and I push the same button and it stops it, or I can start it and then there's a start-stop button. Okay. Now, to simulate working with molten glass, working with a gather, right? So this is a gather that I made. You hold the glass rod, rotate it, and then heat right here. And to simulate that, you can basically use a wooden stick and then a little bit of honey. Now, in this case, this exercise is purely about just getting used to the lathe, and the worst thing you could end up doing is spilling some honey. So I'm going to turn this on. The power setting on the controller is 250. I'm going to come in here, put a little bit of honey on the end, and now I have a gather, right? And as strange as that might seem, again, this ball of glass that I heated up, while it's molten, it will behave just like the honey. If you stop rotating, well, there it goes. So it droops and then eventually drips off, right? And this is one of the things where when you do this by hand, this is a skill that you just have to learn. You just have to practice. In the case of the lathe is doing all the significant work. The lathe is holding our dowel rod in position and rotating, and again, this would be a glass rod, and at the end I would be heating it with the hand torch, making my gather. So the ball of honey represents the gather. If you can't put a dowel rod and get a ball of honey to do this, and you have the microwave, don't pick up a hand torch and do anything. Until you or your students can basically feel comfortable doing this, you shouldn't worry about actually having an open flame. And this is something that, if there is something wrong with your setup, let's say your chuck teeth aren't aligned properly, or something else, or you're having trouble with the controller, this is the best way to find out. Rather than, like I said, have a piece of glass in there and potentially break it, or have the torch and burn yourself or whatever. But I could literally just walk away and just leave this spinning more or less, indefinitely. but I'm not going to. And again, I'll demonstrate this as I slow down. I'll reach a critical speed, critical rotation speed. There we go. It's starting to droop. There it goes. It's just not fast enough. For the record, it was 103 on the power setting. But anyway, this is something that on the surface it might look trivial, it might seem silly, but it is very important before using the lathe with glass and an open flame to make sure that everything is assembled correctly and that you understand its function as far as setting everything up, because if you don't have something aligned properly or there's some other defect, the last thing you want is a piece of glass tubing in here chucked up as you're heating it and then suddenly have it start moving sideways, or have your controller start doing something that you don't understand why it's doing what it's doing. So again, very simple thing. And this is the kind of demo that you can use to show students and other people how scientific glass blowing, how the glass flows like honey while it's heated. And that's one of the things why, especially artistic glass blowers, when you watch them, their movements are very dynamic, very fluid, where they're always rotating the glass. They're always moving, because if they stop moving, it will start to drip like this, the glass, and you're done. So just keep that in mind. But like I said, this is something that it might seem, again, silly, but I make all my students practice this with the stick in their hand, not the lathe, before I let them get on the torch. Because if you can't control a stick with honey on it, do you really want to have an open flame and a piece of glass and panic? So there we go.